Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the Frost Jazz Hour. It's Thursday, 11 a.m., and every Thursday that means the Frost School of Music at the University of Miami brings you the very best in jazz. I'm your host, Tim Smith. We have some wonderful, wonderful guests today. We have a great studio audience here at our Coral Way Studios. Without any further ado, the Roland Trio.
Alrighty then, thank you very much. Oh, just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, my losing dice were tossed, my bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now I know where I'm going, no more doubt or fear. I found my way, 'cause love came just in time. I found you just in time, changed my lonely life that lovely day. Yeah, just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, my losing dice were tossed, my bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now that I know where I'm going, no more doubt or fear. I found my way, 'cause love came just in time. I found you just in time. You came my lonely life that lovely day. Just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, my losing dice were tossed, my bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go. Now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going, no more doubt or fear. I found my way, love came just in time. I found you just in time, changed my lonely life that lovely, lonely life that lovely, lonely life that lovely day. Yeah, yeah, oh, lovely day. Ooh, ooh.
Roland Trio, Eddie and Fuentes on drums, Matt Benelli on bass, and my guest here, Roland on the piano and vocals. Welcome, Hal.
Oh, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
It's nice. I think you brought your crowd with you.
Well, we got some nice Miami-Dade crowd. This is where I'm teaching these days, and really enjoying a good lineup of students. It's a good couple of years. So very talented people, and they came out and supported me for a change. Well, thank you very much, you guys.
Great.
Bring it on.
We certainly miss you on the radio here.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to come back in, walk in through the back door. The combination on the lock back there hasn't changed, so I was able to sneak in, and and it's very nice to come back in to see everybody. Maggie, I said hello to Maggie, and Frank is here, and who else is back there? And of course, Alex has been a great addition to the technical side of the radio station. So yeah, things are in good shape.
That sounds like it. Well, it's great to have you here. That music is, first of all, for people that don't know about you, you are a graduate of the University of Miami.
I am. I graduated in '84. Hate to admit that at this point, but it is still a fact. And it was a great time, really a great age. You were there just a couple of years before me. Yeah, and I mean, just a great couple of years of talent that was there at the time, and had a good experience. Vince Maggio was my teacher there. Did a great, really enjoyed learning from him, and then I went out on the road for a year and went to 36 different countries and came back, went on the road with Expose, and then I ended up teaching at UM for 2.5 years-ish. Vince didn't want to teach any of the electric stuff, so they hired me to teach, synth programming and 2 synthesizer ensembles and some digital recording at the time. So
what's amazing, I'm sure you felt the same thing, that the folks that were there just before I got there were the Danny Gottlieb's, and Steve Morris, and Pat Metheny, and I've talked to Danny about it before. He said, well, we thought it will never be as good as this again.
Right.
And then when I got there, it was Ed Kaye and T. Lavitz, and we're like, it'll never be this good again. And then this is my 6th year teaching, and every year we just reload.
Yeah.
I mean, every year there are students that come in that are like, oh my gosh.
Well, the momentum there now is just, it's unstoppable. People flock to UM, and it's a great program. Shelley used to come in and see Matt and I play a lot at a place nearby, so we got to talk to him a lot about what was going on, and Shelley Berg's been a great leader.
Yeah, his vision for the school is the right thing.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's kept us strong, and audition days are fun. I
it must be ridiculous.
How do we just get I feel like I'm the coach of North Carolina basketball. It's
right.
I'll take this guy and this guy.
And we got Larry Bird, we got Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson all coming in the same year. That's pretty good.
Just had to find a band to put them in. So what song's up next?
Well, I try to do a lot of, I am a singing piano player. I'm not just a piano player, so I do a mix of vocal and instrumental tunes. Most of the vocal tunes that I do are covers. Most of the instrumental tunes that I do are originals. I'm going to do something by Stevie Wonder called Overjoyed, but I do plan on doing some original vocal tunes in this coming year. That's a project that I want to take a hold of. It's time for me to.
Well, when you do Stevie, you're getting great music and great melody. And
and there's nothing. I mean, I do try to reharmonize stuff but Stevie Wonder, you can't reharmonize something that's already been reharmonized perfectly.
Yeah,
so
that's already pretty.
Because you can't, so I'll just do that as it is.
Well, let's have another tune from Hal Roland. This is Stevie Wonder's Overjoyed.
Over time, I've been building my castle of love, just for two, though you never knew you were my reason. I've come much too far for you now to say that I've got to throw my castle away over dreams. I have picked out a perfect come true. Though you never knew it was of you I've been dreaming. Well, the Sandman has come from too far to say to come back. So some other day. And though you don't believe that they do come true. For did my dream come true when I looked at you? And maybe two of you would believe. You too might be overjoyed over love, over me. Over me. Over hearts, I have literally turned every stone just to find I had found what I'd searched to discover. I've come much too far for me now to find the love that I sought could never be mine. Though you don't believe that they do come true. Or did my dream come true when I looked at you? And maybe two of you would believe. You too might be overjoyed over love, over me. Oh yeah, I know the odds are improbable. What do they know? For in romance, all true love needs is a chance. Maybe with a chance you will find you too, like I, overjoyed over love, over you.
Beautiful. Hal Roland Trio. Hal on piano and vocals, Matt Benelli on bass, Etienne Fuentes on drums. Beautiful music. We'll be back in just a moment after a very brief pause. And welcome again to our audience. Welcome back to the Frost Jazz Hour. We'd like to tell you a second about some coming attractions next Thursday, June 6th. Shireen Moston Anymore Project. June 13th, Diego Melgar and the Zest Quartet. June 20th, Matt Wigler and Ashley Pizzotti featuring bassist Jamie Owsley. And on June 27th, our guitar professor, head of the guitar department at Frost, the amazing John Hart, will be here with his trio. This is an amazing day today. Hal, Roland, Matt, and Eddie, and it sounds wonderful. And let's have another tune. This is Inception.
Thank you very much. Etienne Fuentes on the drums, Matt Benelli on the bass.
Hal, is that an original tune?
No, that's actually a McCoy Tyner tune.
Right.
From his album called Inception, I believe. Yeah, great
Beautiful.
tune.
Great playing. Well, my next guest is, I'm going to tell a story on you, not to embarrass you, but to tell it. So when I moved to Miami to come to school here, of course, it was the land of Jocko. And my first night at school, and I was a pretty hotshot bass player from where I was from.
That was, is.
And I got here, and the first night I saw you play at the Checkmate Lounge with Randall Dollahan and a group of incredible musicians. And all I could think about was, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to practice. And then we became friends. Matt was a graduate of the program, a longtime faculty member in the program, and just a mainstay here, bassist with the Bee Gees, among other things. And it's just such a great pleasure to have you here, man. You're a friend and a hero, and I'm glad to have you.
Well, those are very kind words, and thank you. And it's always great to be here for the show and for you and Chuck and the whole program. It's, it continues to grow and blossom and do everything it needs to do, which is wonderful. And, all of us came out of there and are doing all kinds of different things, which is great.
Well, when I introduce the show, sometimes I say, faculty, students, and alumni, and special guests, and the alumni is frightening. I mean, it is such a brilliant...
The students are not too shabby.
No, well, every year it's like that, as we said, but to think of who we can call on the phone to come perform, and I hope our audience doesn't take for granted the fact that when they come in here, they're hearing world-class jazz. And then, as we were talking last week, most cities don't have a radio station that does what WDNA does. So to have a performance space like this and these weekly live performance opportunities, and then the opportunity to come here and see other music they're sponsoring, it's an amazing thing. We certainly did not have that in Nashville, didn't have it in Charlotte, didn't have it in other places I've lived.
And we didn't have it when we were in school.
No, it didn't exist. So.
We had the church and other places to go hang, but there was nothing like this at all.
Nothing. I wanted to mention one thing. Matt and I were both students of the same amazing teacher who is retired. I hope he's listening today, Don Kaufman. And I thought of all the years he taught, probably close to 40 years.
Almost, yeah.
When he retired, we had a get-together of all these alumni bass players. Don was unaware of it, and about 35 or 40 of us showed up. I'm looking around the room going like, oh my gosh, what a legacy.
Right.
And I think Etienne studied with Steve Rucker,
right,
who is a frequent member of this group and who sends messages from Germany today. He's on vacation. To think about all the students, all the great drummers that have come through that program. I mean, if we do our job, we just keep filling this community of great musicians.
Absolutely. And the other thing that's always interesting to me is I started school in the 70s. He was in the 80s. When did you come the first time, Etienne?
82.
Oh, okay. So you guys were in this. We were in this all. I was going to say it was 3 different decades, but my brain is kind of morphing all the time together. But yeah, I mean, Don has an incredible legacy of, amazing teachers, amazing players, people that are still, out touring. The one I was recently in contact with is Derek Frank, is now doing the Gwen Stefani show in Vegas, and then still doing like 3 other projects all at the same time. So there's a lot of guys out there.
It's a lot of guys. We're so thankful for that. I'm thankful for what I got because I graduated, moved to Nashville, and I took 35 years off between starting that and graduate school. It's probably a little longer than most people take for their gap year, but I'm so glad to be back, and this is definitely home.
It's great having you back, that's for sure.
And playing here is great. And to hear you play with Hal is just incredible, man.
It's always fun to do.
So I think we've got one called Ordinary People coming up next.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Again, Hal Roland on piano and vocals, Matt Bonelli on bass, Etienne Fuentes on drums, the Hal Roland Trio.
Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon, or past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love, at times we get sick of love. Seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved and you made your mistakes, and we still both got room left to grow. Although love sometimes hurts, I still put you first. We'll make this thing work out, but I think we should take it slow. We're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Yeah, well, we're ordinary people. Maybe we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This time we're gonna take it slow. Oh, this time we'll take it slow. This ain't a movie, no fairy tale conclusion, y'all. Gets more confusing every day, no. Now that we're heaven sent, we head back to hell again. Wasted makeup on the way. I hang up and you call. We rise and we fall. We still both got room left to grow. As our love advances, we'll take second chances. It's not a fantasy, no. I still want you to stay. We're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Yeah, we're ordinary people. Oh, maybe we'll take it slow. Take it slow. This time we're gonna take it slow. This time we're gonna take it slow. This time, gonna take it slow, slow. This time we're gonna take it slow. Oh, take it slow. Maybe we'll live and learn. Maybe we'll crash and burn. Maybe we'll stay, maybe we'll leave. Maybe you'll return. Maybe we'll fuss and fight. Maybe we won't survive. We'll never know, we'll never go. Baby, you and I, we're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, no, no. Yeah, we're ordinary people. Maybe we'll take it slow, take it slow. This time we're gonna take it slow, slow. This time we're gonna take it slow. Yeah. Oh, in my life, nothing seems so right as to be with you. And when I'm with you, I always sing, you're everything. And as time goes by, floating like a bird am I. Even songbirds I know all sing, you're everything. In my life, Nothing seems so right as to be with you. And when I'm with you, I always sing, you're everything. And as time goes by, floating like a bird am I. Even songbirds I know all sing, you're everything. Oh, days are so much fun, an awful life and an awful time's a game. And as we go dancing through the sun in time, and as time goes by, floating like a bird am I. Even songbirds I know all sing, you're everything. Much fun in awful life and in awful times again. And as we go dancing through the sun in time, and as time goes by, floating like a bird am I. Even songbirds I know will sing, you're everything. Oh, you're everything, baby. Yeah, all right. Yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. No.
Beautiful. Welcoming Hal back over. Well, there's an old adage that I used to hate when I was a kid. I would hear it. It was said that those who do, and those who can't, teach. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We've got some great educators here who play unbelievably well and are still active and working at it. And it's that's a great thing.
It's very lucky, you know, and teaching sort of supports the ability to take artistic license with things rather than having to survive completely.
It's absolutely true.
You know.
Absolutely true. I never, as a freelance musician in Nashville, I mean, you were a slave to the telephone ringing.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so your ability to be creative was when you had enough money in the bank to pay your bills that month.
Right,
And
right.
with teaching, what I've found is that, the first week that I taught here, I wasn't sure if I was ever supposed to be a teacher or was going to be a teacher. And I had a kid in my drum set class that I teach with Steve Rucker, mm-hmm. and I told him to adjust the volume between his hi-hat and his snare drum. Mm-hmm. And when he did, he got this smile on his face, and Steve looked at me. I was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." He goes, "No, he sounds great." And it was that light bulb moment that we all get from time to time when you have a student that something you say out of just not something that somebody taught me out of a book, but out of years of playing with great drummers.
It's interesting. And, you know, on the same thought that you have of teaching and playing and balancing that, you know, I'm finding a new market of people to play for. I do a series of broadcasts online where I'm playing, and it's a live broadcast, Facebook Live, similar to what we're doing here on the radio station today. But people now, instead of me trying to find an audience that will come hear us play, I find them on their phone, mm-hmm. and they'll continue to come back. And it's been a great, another light bulb moment of saying, you know, there's now 400 million people in the United States that are now my market, as opposed to
Right.
somewhere within 5-mile radius of a jazz club in Dade County. You know, most people don't want to drive more than 5 miles, I've found, to go hear live music. And in a county like Dade County that's so spread out, you know, then you have to develop an audience, you know, in Pinecrest and in Kendall and in North Miami and in, you know, Fort Lauderdale and then up near, I don't know what area, Miami Springs. You know, you can't develop all these different audiences.
Well, it's funny, Jacob Collier, who's such a great talent, that's how he started.
Yeah,
I mean, he put
a lot of
videos
people.
out there and built it, and then the next thing you know, Quincy Jones is producing his
Right,
records, and it's
right.
like, it's a huge thing, and I've seen some of what you do, and it's also very interactive, and if people
Yeah.
feel like they're part of it's like our audience today, they
Right.
feel like they're part of the show.
Right.
If we're doing our job correctly, they feel like they're involved with the music, and it's
Exactly.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah, it's been an interesting, whole new. I look at it as a new market, it's a new type of gig. You know, we have our teaching gig, we have our jazz gigs, we have our club dates, and then now we have an online audience to play for as well. So it's like a whole nother section of our playing life.
Well, I've told my students, I hope that some of them are really brilliant so they can find a way to help me make a living when I get old, because it's our old business model is done.
It's
You know, it's
yeah, it is. It's a different. It's changing. It's changing.
And
People, I think, still want it. There are that 15% of people in any city area want to go hear live music, and a lot of it live jazz. But that's 15%. I mean, in New York City, when you've got 8 million people
Right.
all scrunched together, that works out great. But if you've got 4 million people in 2 counties of South Florida, it's not the same distribution. It's different.
without criticizing our audience, I also think they're getting lazier because they would rather sit at home and be entertained than, like you said, get in the car and have to get stuck in traffic to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I say they usually don't want to drive. I don't find I find myself, I'll find out if I want to go hear music on an evening if I'm off. I'll text a few people. I'll text Matt, see if he's playing somewhere. I'll text, I'll text Jim Gazier, see if he's playing somewhere. I'll find, but sometimes if they're like, well, we're in Fort Lauderdale, it's like, all right, I got to think twice about making that drive. And that's me. I'm a musician.
Sure.
How can I expect less? How can I expect more than that from an
I
audience
think we're
person?
all in that same
Yeah.
boat. So what do we have next? I see Matt has picked up the bass.
Matt's got the electric bass happening. I don't know. What's next on the list, Matt? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is from I have a CD out that's called Conversions, and it's taken several, I call it the new American songbook, like songs written after 1960, 1961, which are pop tunes that lend themselves, which is what jazz was back in the day. They would take pop tunes and mess them up. So there's a whole new set of pop tunes that we can mess up now in a nice jazz fashion.
I agree 100%.
So that's what this would be Light My Fire by the Doors.
You know it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, yeah, girl, we couldn't get much higher. No, come on, baby, light my fire, yeah. Come on, baby, light my fire, yeah. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. Yeah. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love becomes a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Oh, come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love becomes a funeral pyre. Oh, come on, baby, light my fire, yeah. Come on, baby, light my fire. Oh, try to set the night on fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. I'm going to do an instrumental arrangement. This is something that I do every morning. I have my Cuban breakfast. Does anybody do a Cuban breakfast in the morning? Which is like Cuban toast and coffee, maybe some fried eggs and sausage and grits if you have time, which I did today. So it's a tradition that we have here in Miami and so I wrote this tune that kind of celebrates that. Here we go.
Feels a little bit like Calle Ocho there, my friend.
What's that?
That feels a little bit like Calle Ocho there.
It is definitely a Calle Ocho influenced, Latin jazz quarter influenced. You know, I learned a lot being on the Latin Jazz Quarter for 17 years. I listened to a lot of Latin music, I didn't study it per se, but just like digested over years and years of listening to such good music. It really sinks in.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Well, I'd like to remind you all, we do have a wonderful audience today. WDNA Studios is located at 2921 Coral Way here in beautiful Coral Gables, and every Thursday we bring you the best in live jazz. If you listen to the radio, there's lots of special events in this room. It's a great little listening room, very intimate room. You get to be right in amongst the music, and it's a great place. Again, every Thursday, please join us here where the Frost School of Music tries to bring you something that you'll enjoy, but it's always great jazz. And Hal, what are we going to close with today?
We're going to finish off with a version of Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone.
The great Bill Withers tune, Ain't No Sunshine. Hal Roland Trio, Hal on piano and vocals, Matt Benelli on bass, Etienne Fuentes on drums. What a great pleasure to have you guys here today. It's beautiful music. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, only darkness when she's away, yeah. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, she's always gone too long, anytime she goes away, yeah. I wonder this time where she's gone, wonder if she's gone to stay, yeah. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, this house ain't no home, anytime she goes away. Well, I know, girl ain't gonna leave this young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. sunshine when she's gone, yeah. Wonder if she's gonna stay, yeah. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house ain't no home anytime she goes away. I wonder if this when she's gone, wonder if she's gonna stay, yeah. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away.
Hal Roland Trio.
Too funny.
Hal on piano. Matt Benelli on bass. Etienne Fuentes on drums. We have perfectly wound it up for 3, 2,
And a nice audience.
1.
Thanks to the audience.
Thank you for our audience.